there, Stevos, and welcome back to another TV wrap-up episode where today I'll be talking about the Amazon original TV show and a spin-off to the Amazon original TV show The Boys, titled Gen V. So that is what I am talking about today, and I have managed to watch all 8 episodes from season 1 of Gen V. So here are my thoughts on it. So I have decided to spend half the day watching this Gen V show, which, by the way, is a spin-off from The Boys TV show. Now, while I enjoy The Boys, and I'm really looking forward to the fact that it's getting a season 4 release at some point in 2024, but this show, I'm gonna say, was good. It wasn't great, it wasn't the best, but it was just good. Now, the reason why I thought it was just good was because some of the characters in this, for me personally, were likeable, and other characters I just found to be bland and boring. I think my favourite character in this show is probably Emma. The first episode we see her appear in, she ends up getting some action with a dude who asks her to get small, as she has the power to get tiny. Think like Ant-Man from the MCU, for example. And while she's getting intimate with this dude, he asks her to get small for him and basically jack his penis off while she's small. Now, she goes off to the bathroom to get small, which she does, and in a scene that we see a little later on in the episode, we return to them both, and he's laying on the sofa all naked while she's got her entire small tiny self wrapped around his penis, trying to rub it up and down, and he requests that she kicked his balls, as that'll pleasure him, which she does. Let's just say, no pun intended here, but he certainly got a kick out of her kicking his balls. See what I did there? See what I did? Yeah. Okay, well, anyway, you know what? I never ever thought that I would ever try and describe a scene from, that was wild. That was wild, you know? I never thought I would ever describe a scene of a TV show in a sexual nature, shall we say, in a YouTube video. But there we go. I just did with this show because it happens. It happens. You know, and it was just weird. It was weird and it was wild at the same time, you know? But yeah, so there we go. So that's one of the scenes that I found a little bit weird and a little bit wild and a little bit wacky at the same time. There's another very weird scene in a later episode of this season where one of the main characters, Marie, is wearing this dress and she's in the ladies' toilets alongside Emma, I believe it was, as she needs to use the loo. Anyways, they both have a heart-to-heart while Marie is on the toilet, and she says to Emma that she wants them to just remain friends, but as they're talking, Emma is on top of Marie, lifting up her dress so that Marie could go pee. Do women usually do this for other women, or does it just happen in the show? Like, I kind of want to know. But it was a little bit weird. Anyway, I felt a bit uncomfortable watching that scene. You know, I don't know what, it just felt a little bit uncomfortable to watch. I don't know, it's just, you know, a woman needing to go pee, and another woman was on top of her, lifting up her dress so that the woman below her could go pee. It was weird. Anyway, for me anyway, I thought it was weird, okay? I just thought it was weird, that's all, alright? But there we go. Also as well, I must say that Marie, we do get a bit of a backstory on Marie as well, like in the opening episode. And at first, like, obviously we see her playing with her sister, and, you know, her parents are sat in the living room and they're watching TV, and Marie then says to her parents that she's got a bit of a stomach ache and she needs to go upstairs and use the bathroom, so she does. And at first, you know, it looks like she's, you know, came on her period, and basically that scene was a little bit wild and wacky as well. Because we then see the blood, like, going up from the toilet, like, obviously it's like CGI blood, basically, you know, but this, like, CGI blood, it goes up, you know, and, from the toilet, and basically we obviously hear Marie screaming. Marie's mum kind of breaks down the bathroom door, because the bathroom door's locked, and basically she ends up getting stabbed. So, like, Marie has this power to basically use her blood to, like, stab people and stuff like that, which is actually quite cool, I'm not gonna lie. Like, could you imagine that? Imagine using your own blood to stab people. Not that, you know, stabbing's okay, because of course it's not, but, you know, in this fantasy show, shall we say, having that kind of superpower, pretty cool, pretty decent, pretty creative, and darn right different. But anyway, so yeah, so in a later episode, we also see some the boys level action sequence, which involves a character murder a lot of people by ripping their arms off. However, though, we see this being done through the use of puppetry, which the concept and the scene itself was hilariously funny, and it was so wild to watch this happen on screen. And in a later scene, I believe the character says, "I ripped somebody in half," but in my defense, they were a puppet when it happened, which I thought was quite hilarious when that was said on screen. And I should also point out that in a later episode, the same character, I believe, has sex with Emma, and while there are moments we see her getting pleasured by him, but he also sees her being pleasured whilst being a puppet. Once again, that scene was rather wild to watch on screen, but funny at the same time. So, you see, the thing is, with this show, is there are moments in this that I really did enjoy, and it does have some WTF moments in there. And it is connected to the boys' universe as well. I felt as though the series improves a lot more when you get into the second half of the season, once all the characters have been developed in the first half of the season, which is understandable, because if the characters weren't fully developed, then that would have been a complete issue with the show. So I respect the creators making the first half of the season less action and more development for the characters, but we also do see Soldier Boy turn up in the second half of the season as well, which is so awesome to see. And the season finale does set up the events of season 4 of The Boys, which is coming sometime during 2024 on Amazon Prime Video. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next in the opening series of The Boys season 4. I should also point out here that Gen V has been renewed for a season 2 at Amazon Prime Video as well, so that gave me more of a reason to watch these episodes as well. And I will watch season 2 when it does come out to see how crazy and wild those episodes will get. And I do know that whatever happens at the end of the next series of The Boys will continue on in season 2 of Gen V. So the universe in both of these shows are connected in one way or another. If I was to rate this out of 10, I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. Like I said earlier in this review, in the first half of the season, it wasn't too great, but it definitely picks up more in the second half, which I really enjoyed a lot. And I will say this now, despite the fact that, you know, like in the second half of the series, we do see a couple of characters from the main The Boys show come into this. But you know what, I think with season 2, despite the fact, obviously, I know this is a spin-off and stuff like that, but I definitely would love to see a couple more characters from the main show make at least a cameo appearance, or make just some sort of an appearance into this show. But yeah, I think adding Soldier Boy in here and stuff like that, I think that was a pretty decent move for the creators to do. I'm not going to lie to you now, right? I know, like, you know, obviously you've got like the MCU, you've got the DCU, and obviously I guess you could say you got the TBU, you know, the boys universe now, you know. Let's just make that a thing, shall we? Because I'm sure that at some point in the future there's probably going to be a lot more spin-offs with the boys universe, and I think Gen V is probably just the beginning of it, because I think that you can do a lot of spin-offs with the boys. I reckon you can, and I'm sure the creators out there are probably coming up with more ideas of more spin-off shows and stuff like that. So, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see what they do with this kind of franchise and branching it out in the future and stuff like that. Like, similar to what they've done with like The Walking Dead, for example. Obviously, The Walking Dead has got endless amount of spin-off shows now. So it'll be very interesting to see if they do the same with the boys. Obviously, Gen V starting it off, and maybe they might just branch it out going forward. So, but yeah, but honestly though, this show, it was good, it wasn't bad, it wasn't great, it was good, okay? Would I still recommend this show to people who are still yet to watch this, or are uncertain as to whether to watch this or not? I definitely would say yes. I mean, like I say, you know, the first half of the series is kind of like a development kind of thing. Like, obviously, they're building the characters up, because obviously you don't know the characters, and you don't know their superpowers and stuff like that. And I do think that some of their superpowers, like I said earlier in the review, is kind of creative in a way, and really, really awesome as well. You know, obviously I do think that there are a couple of superpowers here and there that they've kind of taken from other franchises, like Emma, for example, getting tiny. You can kind of go, oh, well, that's like the boys universe's version of Ant-Man, but except a woman, and yeah. So, you know, so in that sense, you know, I think it is kind of creative in that sense. Like, they have come up with some really good ideas with what powers each of like the young adults in this show have. But aside from that, though, it is a really, really decent show. It is still full packed with action and stuff like that. Not so much in the first half, but definitely in the second half. And I think, like I said earlier in my review, that the action that we do see in this is probably the boys level action that you would see in the main show. So that is a really, really awesome thing there. But I would also say that if obviously they are making a series 2 of this, so as they're doing a series 2, the only thing that I would definitely request now is if they maybe did a bit more of an action-based kind of series now that the characters have been developed. And like I say, the other request for me for series 2 would be to bring in a couple more characters from the main boys show. So yeah, but aside from that though, this is a very good show that I do definitely recommend if you are a fan of the boys and you are looking for something as part of the boys universe to kind of whet your appetite whilst you wait for series 4. Definitely give this one a watch. Obviously the first season of Gen V is streaming now on Amazon Prime Video, along with the first 3 seasons of The Boys, and like I said, season 4 of The Boys will be out at some point in 2024, and I'm sure Gen V Series 2 will be out, I reckon. I mean, if I was to give you a kind of a time, or like kind of like a time, I would probably say around about I think 2025 is when we'll probably see season 2 of Gen V, but don't hold me against that though, because I have no idea, you know. I'm just kind of thinking if The Boys Series 4 is out next year, they might kind of go Gen V in 2025 Series 2. So, but anyway, there we go though. That is my thoughts though on Gen V Series 1, okay? Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Have you watched this outrageously wild show? If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, really do appreciate your comments on the shows that I watch, and if you've watched them as well. But that is all I've got time for this video, so thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below as well. Like I say, have you seen The Boys? Have you seen Gen V? Which one of those shows is your favourite? And if you have seen Gen V, who is your favourite character from Gen V? Me, I'm going to say it was Emma. I enjoyed Emma. I thought Emma was awesome. And if you are new around here, you like what you see, then feel free to hit that subscribe button to become a Stevo. And I will be back for you again with your next YouTube video on Monday, the 11th of December at 4 PM UK time, when I'm going to be joined by my friend Damon, as we're going to be sitting down and we're going to be talking about the last 60th anniversary episode of Doctor Who titled The Giggle, and I'll also get his thoughts as well on the second 60th anniversary special, Wild Blue Yonder, as well, as we didn't watch it together, and I would like to get his thoughts and opinions on that episode in a YouTube video as well, okay? So yeah, so that is all from me. I hope you can join me for that on Monday, but until then though, it's goodbye. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again in my next YouTube video.